Cloud standards. Cloud computing provides a model for global, convenient, and on demand use to the resources and services shared over the cloud. Cloud model consists of following key features: service models, IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. Four deployment models: private cloud, public cloud, community cloud, and hybrid cloud. Five essential characteristics: on demand, self service, broad network access, resource pooling, rapid electricity, major services. Cloud standards works on these features and create a standard way to provide above services. Following list describes some of the cloud standardization organizations and some work done by them. National Institute of Standards and Technology (NIST) defined cloud computing. Distributed Management Task Force (DMTF), Cloud Management Initiative, Open Virtualization Format, Open Cloud Standards Incubator, etc. European Telecommunication Standard Institute defines cloud definition considering Europe standards and standards for information and communication technology, that is ICT, including fixed, mobile, radio broadcast, and internet technology. Cloud Management Working Group (CMWG), Cloud Infrastructure Management Interface (CIMI), architecture for managing clouds, defines cloud service lifecycle, etc. Standard acceleration to jump start adaptation of cloud computing. SAGACC defines 25 use cases for cloud computing. Open Cloud Consortium, Open Cloud Testbeds, Open Science Data Cloud Benchmark, Open Science Data Cloud Benchmark Reference Implementation. Many sub-standardization bodies are working betterment of the cloud society. So this is about cloud standards. Cloud of Things. As seen in Chapter 1, IoT levels and deployment templates, cloud play very important role in IoT application development. Cloud of Things tries to integrate IoT with the cloud computing to provide higher scalability and improve performance of IoT. Grid SOA and cloud computing. Question may be asked: explain cloud computing as an integration to the grid computing. Just like the IoT, cloud computing also relies on the communication network for providing various services. Cloud computing is derived from grid computing, where both technologies tries to use computing resources from multiple locations. Both the approaches provide distributed and parallel programming environment. Parallel virtual machines (PVM), message passing interface, and job scheduler plays important for resource management role in building the middleware for grid computing and cloud computing. One key feature of cloud computing and grid computing is that both techniques provide a single system image, that is parallel virtual working station, and hide the essential implementation based on the clustering technology. Example: Amazon Web Services, which provide combined user interface using web services over the internet. Cloud computing also supports virtualization, creates virtual versions of the resources like servers, storage, operating system, etc. Virtualization is done in two types: single system virtualization (SSV) and multi-system virtualization (MSV). SSV technique provide one way to many virtualization. Multiple operating systems are simulated on the same computer hardware. This provides increase in the efficiency and resource utilization. VMware is one such example and is very helpful for cloud computing, providing various OS support in the same environment. MSV technique provides many to one virtualization. MSV provides a collective performance of many systems to single node. MSV provides centralized service providing node that collects large number of application services and provides high performance computing. Many to one virtualization form the base of the cloud computing. SSV can be used with lower level nodes of MSV, but it is not compulsory. The resources described by cloud computing, storage and computing, are delivered to the end user by using SOA, that is REST-based web services, SOAP, etc. using internet. Service-oriented architecture (SOA) provides software design that helps communicate between application components using communication protocols on the network. SOA can be used in all types of layers, that is IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS of cloud computing. Thus, cloud computing integrates grid computing and SOA to provide services and solutions to the end users over the internet. Figure 5.4.1 shows a cloud as the integration of grid and SOA. Here we see the web wide optic wireless services, then MSV, SSV, this is IaaS, PaaS contains middleware, business logic. SaaS contains ERP, M2M application, WT, email, and browsers. Connected using wired or wireless communication standard. Cloud infrastructure is built using MSV and SSV, which uses SOA to provide the resources to the end users using standalone software application or browsers. So this is about the grid, public SOA, and the cloud computing under Cloud of Things. Architecture standardization for WT. This session describes the various frameworks and RFID standards used in 4 pillars for IoT, that is MTM, RFID, SCADA, and WSA. With respect to WT, in second section below, multi-tier WT architecture and some business intelligence implemented whatever are discussed. Here we seeing M2M middleware standards. Question may be asked, explain M2M middleware standards in brief. M2M device. M2M devices are able to sense data and transfer it to the expected device regularly or on receiving request. M2M area network. This layer provides connectivity between M2M devices and M2M gateway. Examples of this layer are short-range devices, Bluetooth, KNX, Modbus, etc. M2M gateway. M2M gateway makes sure that M2M devices are interconnected with each other and coordinates via available communication network. M2M communication network. Communication network provides a platform for connecting the M2M application servers and M2M gateways. Examples are WiMAX, WLAN, satellite, etc. M2M application server. Application server manages the data processing through various applications and how it is used for business logic. M2M middleware handles three core layers, which are M2M gateway, communication network, and application servers. Next, WSN middleware standards. Question may be asked, explain WSN middleware standards in brief. Wireless sensor network WSN standardization approach is done by ABK sensor network, the ESN standardization, which includes following components. First one, ESN application platform. This layer provides a technical framework for application development and service delivery. ESN middleware. This layer provides functionalities for sensor connectivity, network management, sensor data mining, and event management. Third, network infrastructure. ESN makes use of existing networks instead of creating a new one from scratch. ESN gateways. Gateways are used to connect sensor networks with other networks to increase the reach of devices. Sensor networks. This is the core network of sensors interconnected via IP-based addressing directly or using the gateways to connect indirectly. SCADA. Question may be asked, explain SCADA middleware standards in brief. SCADA, as seen in unit number 3, focuses on industrial automation using the IoT mechanisms. So SCADA used for industrial applications. SCADA standardization provides framework for information exchange, model, device interfaces, services, protocols, and software projects, software object modeling. SCADA middleware platform focuses on the following points in industrial automation. There is 5 points. First one, interaction. Second, communication mechanism, context, secure distributed storage, additional tools. Interaction. This step manages the interactive interfacing between users, human controllers, and smart objects distributed in the industry. Communication mechanism. The information exchange between the different smart objects distributed in industry. Context. Context in SCADA defines the conditions that form the setting for particular event in an industry. It manages data distribution and processing according to the context. Secure distributed storage. The layer manages the secure storage of the information generated using smart objects in the industry. Additional tools. Additional tools are also available using which operators or editors can be perform manual work on the SCADA system. Then RFID middleware standards. As discussed in chapter, RFID provides unique identities techniques, the things which can be recognized using RFID standards. RFID is the most complete and standardization approach in all of 4 pillars of the IoT. So there are 4 pillars: M2M, SCADA, IoT. Like that, RFID is the most complete and standardization approach. As discussed in unit number 3, EPC Global describes the standards for RFID implementation. RFID middleware specifies the business logic that is used to filter the data and extract the useful information from the used data. First, manage devices. In this layer, middleware have to manage devices with RFID tags and RFID readers that are used to detect RFID. In this layer, middleware can check the performance of RFID reader and detect new ways to improve it. Collect and integrate data. All the RFID tags read by the RFID readers is directly processed by the middleware. So collecting RFID data and arranging it as per need is middleware work. Structure and filter data. Based on the identification, large data about the product on which RFID tags is embedded is available. Middleware decides how this data is to be categorized and which data is to be used as per the functionality. It also removes redundant and repetitive data. Tags ID association. In case of RFID, middleware can collect and manage tag ID numbers to the RFID, where thousands and more RFID tags are in use. Tag ID management is very useful in making sense of devices and RFID to the developers. Middleware can be used to allocate tags IDs only to relevant RFID reads to make the application more understandable. Example of RFID middleware working standards is explained by Cross API's platform, that is Cubic, a project in Japan. RFID tag information is recorded by mobile terminals with RFID readers, and it also stores location-based data. Mobile terminals are connected via QNIC CUNIC architecture, which can share data of other RFID devices read by other terminals. This data can be searched to locate the specific RFID tag using the architecture. Next point, WT portals and business intelligence. This section briefly discusses how the data access is done by the users in WT and how business intelligence is effective in WT. A web portal provides a point of access to the www using URLs and addresses. These links, web pages, and web portals give combined information from the diverse data sources in IoT environment. Web portals have portlets, an application in web portals which receives requests and return appropriate information. As discussed in unit number 3, web portals are of two types, horizontal and vertical. Horizontal portals cover many areas, while vertical web portals focus only on one functional area. Java specification request JSR 168 standard was developed in around 2001, which revolutionized web portals. JSR 168 allows various web portals to communicate between each other even with cross-platform vendor solution. Some famous example of web portals for IoT are Pachubi, now GVL Cloud, GVXIVELY.com. This platform provides an IT solution as per the user requirement, where you can connect various devices and handle them online easily. Microsoft HOM Google Power Meter. Moham by Home HOM by Microsoft and Power Meter by Google are IoT based solution where user can monitor their household power usage and create plans on how to reduce energy wastage. Sunspot Small Program Object Technology. It is a WSN developed by Sun Microsystem, provided in a way to program the IoT needs using Java programming language. Sensor Map Microsoft. Sensor Map was Microsoft project. Users can publish their live data collected by sensors and other smart devices. Business intelligence. Question may be asked, explain business intelligence associated with WT. The huge data collected by a large number of sensors is available in raw format. To make sense of this data, the WT middleware defines a business logic which converts this data into meaningful information. Such logic is also known as a BI of the WT. Data mining is a well-known mechanism to implement BI. So, for business intelligence, data mining is used. Data mining refers to finding patterns and establishing relationship between the huge dataset. Decision Support System (DSS) is another mechanism of implementing BI. And Decision Support (DSS) provide the data analysis and simulations as per the need, which makes taking decisions easier for the system or users. BI provides historical, present, and futuristic views to the system by using the available data. So common uses of BI and data mining, data prediction, data report generation, data mining, data analytics, business intelligence, etc. Next point, mobile cloud computing. Question may be asked, explain MCC. With the development of cloud computing support to desktop computing and large growing market of handheld devices, tech giants like Apple, Google, Microsoft are taking the next step, providing cloud computing services at users' fingerprint. This is the smartphone. Mobile cloud computing (MCC) provides the functionality of standard cloud in the small handheld devices like smartphones. The availability of internet to the mobile services provides the functionality of the IoT to the smartphones, making it a thing. Machine-to-machine communication model and sensor capabilities are two main characteristics of mobile cloud computing. Mobile cloud collects data in the surroundings and location-based data and uses the cloud services for storage, processing, and display. Thus, mobile cloud computing and IoT are the part of big picture, providing IoT support to the user smartphone via cloud services. Many Apple and Android apps and widgets are providing such cloud support. Apple's iCloud services allow users to store data like images, music files, documents, etc. on a remote server which can be downloaded by same users' devices like iPhones, iPads, iPods, and personal computers running Mac or Windows-based OS. Windows Live Mesh allows files and folders synchronization on two machines running Windows and Mac OS computers. Windows Live Mesh is a free-to-use internet-based services. This is about mobile cloud computing. Next point, cloud middleware. Question may be explain cloud middleware architecture. Just like the IoT and WT seen earlier, cloud computing also has a multi-tier architecture with strong middleware perspective. Below figure shows the cloud middleware architecture. Here we see software as a service, that is APN services, platform as a service, middleware, identity, data management, structure, unstructured, metadata. Infrastructure as a service consists of virtualization, connectivity, hardware, computing, and all. And this is about cloud middleware. Cloud provides its services in three categories: IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. And cloud middleware must focus on these categories in its architecture. SaaS utilizes the functionalities of IaaS middleware and PaaS middleware to provide software as a service. At lower level, the middleware helps reduce the SSV virtualization overhead of virtualization. IaaS middleware includes components like network management, system management, configuration of system, and virtualization, etc., providing functionalities for hardware and infrastructure of cloud. IaaS middleware includes all grid management, SSV and MSV cluster management, and scheduler as well. PaaS middleware handles identity, access management of computing devices, data management, which include managing metadata and categorizing structured and unstructured data on the cloud. PaaS includes all business level solutions and services that are required for SaaS. Thus, cloud middleware consists of two middleware layers for IaaS and PaaS. SaaS uses IaaS and PaaS middleware functionalities to provide its services and doesn't have SaaS middleware separately. So, in this architecture, we mainly focus on the IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. IaaS means infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, and software as a service. Infrastructure, we use the virtualization. That means servers will be created as infrastructure using virtualization, connectivity, hardware. Platform will be used by identity, middleware, data management, and metadata, that is big data, data of data, and software as a service, which include the services, that is application, Android apps, Apple iPhones, etc. So cloud middlewares have two middleware layers, IaaS and PaaS. SaaS already uses IaaS and PaaS middleware. That means one layer depends on the another layer. That means SaaS uses IaaS and PaaS. Software as a service uses infrastructure as a service and platform as a service as a middleware functionality to provide services, and doesn't have SaaS middleware separately. So there will be no separate SaaS. It includes IaaS and PaaS. Then cloud middleware consists of two middleware, IaaS and PaaS. PaaS includes all business level solutions and services that are required for SaaS. So what will PaaS include? PaaS includes business level, that is business intelligence solution services, and that are required for SaaS, that means software as a service. So this is about cloud middleware standards. Thank you so much.